All right, so this is a battle report between Chaos Warriors and Chaos Warriors. This is a battle report I actually had done, a battle I actually done 2 weeks ago at a tournament, at a local tournament. I actually had one of my friends from my club come in, and we had such a small tournament that we ended up playing against each other in the second round. So, was not expecting to play against him. Yeah, so here's the deployment. He brought two chimeras, a chaos lord on a disc, unkillable chaos lord on a disc, about three chariots. Um, he bought a sorcerer on a disc. I think he's running the lore of Zinch. It's a lore that a lot of chaos generals are starting to use more and more often because the the good things about it outweigh the single bad thing. He bought a unit of Marauder Horsemen and it's just pretty much it, and two Chimeras. And we're going to find out how strong Chimeras really are in this battle against a Chaos army that doesn't have such. I actually got Vanguard at my Slaanesh Steed Lord up, Sorcerer Lord, thinking I was going to get first turn. I did not get first turn, and he ended up charging his first turn, charging him, and I had to flee because that sorcerer is very expensive, and a lot of my tactics rally around him. He moved his army up ever so slightly so he can get into charge range. Thinking back on the deployment, I should have deployed further back. Since my Chaos army is a little slower than his, well, not a lot slower than his, I should have deployed further back, making it so that he has to actually waste 2 to 3 turns actually to get to me and to actually make charges. I brought a unit of Wrathmongers, a unit of Skull Crushers, 1 chariot, and a unit of warriors, and another unit of marauders with Wolfric. And the funny thing about this battle is we both brought Wolfric thinking there was going to be a dwarf player to show up, and there was no dwarf player. So we both wasted points there, except his points actually paid off for him in this battle. He reaches out to charge the Chimera across. I'm thinking he doesn't have the range, but he's going to make some good rolls here for charging. He charges my dude on the disc. I pushed the guy on the disc forward because it's just so hard to kill him. And the Marauders charge him. I'm thinking that he should kill those Marauders. He actually made those long distance charges with the Chimera and the Chaos Lord. I mean, he needed 10 on one and a 9 on the other. He made them both. Oh man, they're strong, but they're not that strong. Those Wrathmongers. And then his Wolfric appears right behind my warriors. I'm not really that afraid of that. Not really afraid of that because my warriors shouldn't be there. In my turn, they should be somewhere else. But the problem comes in that now I really can't use the Demon Prince to back the Skull Crushers up. This is a very volatile place he's in because he's surrounded by a Chimera and a Chaos Lord and a Marauder Horde with a Mark of Khorne flails. So it's a lot of strength 5, it's a lot of strength 6 standing around. The Skull Crushers, thank goodness they're frenzied because they just didn't care that the Wrathmongers were destroyed. They were probably jealous of the Wrathmongers, and when the Wrathmongers died, they were like, punk bitches. Nobody liked you anyway. All shiny and gold and stuff and new. Yeah, the Sorcerer, the Exalted Hero, he doesn't really do anything in close combat against the Marauders. He kills like 1 or 2 of them, and then they hold. Their only leadership like 7. They hold. Man. And his general is way over on my back line too. There's no reroll. I mean, it's amazing. I summoned in a unit of Hex Wraiths to keep moving his Marauders, make them charged into the Karen Wraith, and then he charged into the Hex Wraiths. I want to keep those Marauders wheeling around and out of close combat as long as possible. I'm thinking the Hex Wraiths should be able to beat them just because they can't hit, and I'm hitting at strength 5. And then I charge the Warriors in because obviously the Chaos Exalted Hero needs help fighting Marauders. And the funny thing is, I don't kill many more. I don't think I kill many more Marauders there. And it gives him enough time to get his chariot into position to charge the flank of the Warriors. That's another view to the back lines over here. The Hex Wraith should do all right against the Marauders because he can't really hurt me. The only person that can hurt me is actually Wulfric, and I don't think he actually uses Wulfric to actually fight them in this battle. Oh man, I was making mistake after mistake on this one, and he brings his Chimera back behind the Skull Crushers, and in hindsight, what it should have done is actually move the Skull Crushers right in front of the Chimera, forcing the Chimera to fight 3 Skull Crushers by itself, not giving it the position to actually have help from the Chaos Lord. My Marauders came in, and then his Chimera stood right there looking at him. But in his turn, he actually fled. He also, in my turn, I charged something into his general, tried to charge Skull Crushers into his sorcerer. His sorcerer fled, and then my Marauders show up. And so I'm thinking I should be able to catch these points from his sorcerer, at least with Wulfric, right? Then in his turn, he was able to charge this chariot into the flank of the Warriors. He doesn't beat the Warriors down that bad. The Warriors just reform in front of him. I really hate this terrain feature that Games Workshop made. This hill thing, it's terrible. But anyway, I moved my Chaos Lord, my Demon Prince behind the Skull Crushers to try to block the charges from the Chimera. It doesn't work. It was smoke and mirrors, and it just wasn't enough smoke. He can really charge around it, and the way he's been rolling his charges, I can't get away from nothing. But anyway, the Hex Wraiths attack, and they do that. But then they roll a bunch of ones to wound the Marauders, and they end up getting killed through combat resolution. Oh man! But anyway, he does end up charging his Chaos Lord back behind it, back right past the Demon Prince like it ain't nothing. The Demon Prince is just sitting there twirling around. Where do I go? Where do I go? You just really can't do anything. The Sorcerer gets beaten in close combat by the Marauders, and he flees and he gets away. I roll like a 3, and he rolled like an 11. I mean, I'm telling you, anytime he needed a high roll, he got it in this game. And and then the Skull Crusher, he get lost in close combat and he ran away. And then once they beat the Hex Wraiths, since that was their second overrun or whatever, he just turns around and faces the Sorcerer, who's now exposed, and he charges him, and then I just pull off the Sorcerer because there's no point. He's just gonna get slaughtered. Didn't plan on ahead on that one, but I still have some Karen Wraiths walking around the field. I did actually summon a unit of Sepulchral Stalkers to kill a Chimera, and he actually didn't kill the Chimera. It was the first time. It took 2 times screaming at the Chimera to kill it, and its initiative is 2. So yeah. Then over on see over here. Here's the my Sepulchral Stalkers screaming at the Chimera, who only had 1 wound to begin with. 1 wound left, and they couldn't get that done. But they can kill Glocken though. The Demon Prince, I put one of my race in front of the Marauder, so when he charges the Wraith, he'll overrun into the Demon Prince. His Sorcerer actually, his Chaos Lord actually charges. Well, I think it was his BSB charges my BSB, and it was like unkillable versus unkillable, and Yeah, they're gonna be there for a little bit. But ultimately, I think I'll lose off of combat resolution. I get ran down because I'm a banner carrier and I have to hold on to my banner even though it's going to kill me. I don't like that rule. It's so stupid. That's one of the rules that probably need to change in like ninth age or something. That whole battle standard just falling over and dying. That's really stupid. The Chaos Warriors eventually die. They die from getting beat down by a Chimera, I believe. Either it was a Chimera, or it was a Chaos Lord. One of the two. My Demon Prince miscasts and dies, and nothing is left. So I got tabled pretty badly, actually. And the funny thing is, I got tabled, but yet I still had things on the field because of the lore of Undeath. But yeah, it was a fun game, and I should have deployed farther back. And deployment does matter in this game, not so much in AOS. By the way, I was on YouTube yesterday and I was watching Therian, and he actually put up a link to a bunch of redone books, and he redid one of the ones I liked. He redid the Chaos Warriors. He brought some things back to the Chaos Warriors that need to be there, like the Stubborn Banner that needed to be there because in order for a Chaos Warrior army to run properly, there needs to be something like the Stubborn Banner if you want to have an actual warrior army, because you'll never be able to be steadfast against anybody because your troops are so expensive. So since you'll never be steadfast against anybody, the Stubborn Banner gives you the ability to actually have a Chaos Warrior, foot slogging Chaos Warrior 7th edition style. You know, a Lord on foot, Chaos Lord on, in the unit, all that stuff. He increased the Chimera's price. I mean, he did a lot of stuff that needed to be done to the Chaos Warrior book that wasn't done. He actually put items back into the armory that Chaos Warriors needed to run a Chaos Warrior army, and he actually decreased the price of Chosen to make Chosen a viable choice and increase the price of Chimeras. I think prices need to be increased anyway. They're expensive. I mean, they're too powerful for how many points they are anyway. Yeah, check it out.